Hi guys, this is Sprite. I am the graphic artist here at Conde Systems, and today we're going to be talking about using the artwork from condedesign.com with our templates at conde.com. We'll also go into detail about changing the colors of your artwork, adding names, pictures, and other embellishments to your art, installing fonts to your system, creating folders, and using the Power Clip tool in CorelDRAW. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see here, I have the Conde Design website up, and we're going to be using two graphics today. We're going to be using hex cube and name boxes. First off, let's talk a little bit about Conde Design. As you can see, we have a bunch of different categories: holiday and seasonal, which you have all of the different holidays, occasions, wedding, anniversary, sports, etc., etc. As well as our artist series, which is basically art created by different users, different artists. So this is a fun item, a fun category to go through. So like I said, we're going to be using the hex cube design. So all you do is just go into your search key here, type it in, and here it is. So all you do is you just add it to your cart and then check out with PayPal, which is very easy to do. One of the things that I like to do as soon as I get the download, when you do receive the download, it's going to come over as 4 different file types. You're going to have a CDR, which can be used for, I think, all the way down to CorelDRAW 11. We have a JPEG, which you can use for your website. We have a PDF, which is a very high format, which can be used in CorelDRAW, can also be used in Photoshop, as well as putting it into flyers or other things. We also have a PSD, which if you're using if you're a Photoshop user, you can use this in Photoshop. But of course, we're using the CDR because we're going to be working in CorelDRAW today. So the first thing that you should do after you download your artwork is create a folder on your desktop and get all of your artwork into put all of your artwork into that folder. So the way you create a folder, you just simply right-click on your desktop, go to New, go to Folder, and then you just name it whatever you need to remember. That's where your artwork is. So just call it Conde Design. Okay, so then what you do is you just take your art and just drag and drop it into your folder. So then that way you'll have all your artwork in one place and you'll know where to find it. Okay, let's go ahead and start. So here's the hex cube art, just the way it looks on the website. So, and it comes over grouped together. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is changing the colors of your art. So if you notice, everything is clicked or grouped together. So in order to isolate the different elements, all you do is you ungroup it. I'm a big user of shortcut keys, so throughout this video you'll hear me referencing the shortcut keys a lot. Just make a note of them and it'll make your life a lot easier. So in order to ungroup this art, we simply hit the Control key and U, and that ungroups it. And as you can see over here, this is my Object Manager tab. We now have 2 different pieces of our art. We have the blue, which you can see down here is the blue color, and then the green down here. I would always recommend using your Object Manager. It just makes it a lot easier to work within Corel. It kind of gives you more of a visual representation of where all of your different elements lie. So the way you get your Object Manager tab to open is you go to Windows, go to Dockers, and just click on Object Managers. And then that'll open this tab here, which you can use, and we'll talk about the Object Manager a little bit more as we go on. So let's change the color. Let's say your customer really likes this design, or you really like this design, but you have a different color scheme. Let's say your scheme is yellow and purple. So what you're going to do is just click on one of the items and then just click on a color over here on your color bar. So we'll use purple, and then we'll use light yellow. That's pretty interesting. So there you go. Now you have your artwork, the color is changed. If you don't like what you did and you want to go back, another great shortcut key is the Control and Z. Control Z will change your change what you have just done. It'll undo what you just did, and you can undo for quite a while. So let's say you've been working on a project for a minute and you made a mistake, but you just figured it out, and it was about 10 moves ago. So all you have to do is just hit Control Z until you're to the point where you need to start back over. Now to redo, you hit the Control key, the Shift key, and Z, and it will redo your undo. So Control Z to undo and Control Shift Z to redo. Okay, so those are two of my most favorite shortcut keys. Control Z undos and Control Shift Z to redo. Okay, so we've already talked about ungrouping, so now you have two different elements here. Control Z, let's put it back together, and then let's group it together. To group it, what you do is you just simply draw a box. The way you draw the box is you just hold down your left pointer key and just draw, or just, I'm sorry, slide your mouse until everything is in your box, and then you just hit Control and G, and now you see over here you have a group of two objects. You can also expand this and you can look at the two different elements that are in your group. Okay, so we've talked about changing the colors. Now let's talk about adding some embellishments to your artwork. We're going to use the same colors that we started with, and we're going to add some rectangles and some name boxes. This is our name box file, which if we go back to Conde Design and we type in name box, this is the file that you're going to download to get what you just saw on my screen. This is an amazing bundle of graphics. I use it for just about everything that I decorate. You can use these for initials, you can use them for text, monogram fonts, or I'm sorry, monogram initials, also pictures, which we'll cover that here in just a minute. So let's go back to Corel and let's start decorating. So the first thing we're going to do is, I like to do the rectangles across the art. It's become pretty popular nowadays. So what we do is we go over here to our rectangle tool, and another good thing about Corel is if you hover your mouse over any of the keys, it'll show you what that particular thing does. And then if you click on the very edge, you have a drop down menu, or I'm sorry, a flyout of different things, different tools that you can use. For instance, if you use the eraser, it'll erase items, so just like that. But we don't want to do that, so we Control Z and we undo it. Okay, so we go back here to our rectangle tool, and if you want to use the flyout, you can see it has different things, just like the circle or the polygon, but we're just going to use a standard rectangle. Draw your rectangle by holding down your left key button and just making a rectangle. All right, and then we're going to fill this box. So I want to match the colors that are in our design. So in order to do that, we're going to go over here to our color eyedropper tool. Click on that and then click on the color you want to use, and you can see it changes, the RGB value changes as you hover over the different colors. So we're going to use this dark blue here, and it automatically changes from the eyedropper tool to a fill bucket. So now it's going to fill whatever you hover over to the color that you selected. Okay, and as you can see, this has a black outline to it. Let's go back to our pick tool. We have our rectangle selected, but it has a black outline. You can see here's the fill and here's the outline, and we want to get rid of that outline. So in order to do that, we just right-click on the X at the top of our color palette. So you right-click and the outline goes away. Now you can also left-click and get rid of the fill, but we don't want to do that. So Control-Z, undo, and here we have our rectangle. Now I like to do the rectangles with a couple of different colors in them. But first off, I want to make this rectangle stand out from our artwork. So in order to do that, I'm going to make this blue just a little bit darker. And the way you do that is you come over here to your fill and you double click on it. And when you double click on it, this nice box is going to pop up, and you can move up and down and you can see it changes the color. So I want to go a little bit darker, so I just moved the box down into the right a little bit, and it changed it from this kind of, I don't know, almost like a sky blue or a creolin blue to more of a darker blue. So just say OK, and now our blue is a little bit darker than the blue in our artwork. Okay, now I want to add different colors to this. So what we do is we're going to duplicate this rectangle. In order to duplicate, you hit the Control key and D. And you can't really see it, but you just duplicated that rectangle. And we're going to change the color to this pale yellow. And then we're going to make it smaller. But we're only going to make it smaller in the width. And we're going to do this by hovering your mouse over the box, holding down the Shift key, holding down the right key on your, the left key on your mouse, and drawing it in a little bit. And so now you have what almost looks like an outline, but it's not outlined on the edges, just on the top and the bottom. So what I want to do is I want to make it 3 different boxes. So we're going to hit Control D again and then change that color to the dark blue. And as you can see, every time you hit Control D, you get a different box the same distance as the first one. So you could do this infinitely, and you'll have all of these lines that are exactly the same width, which is fascinating. I love this tool. The Control D duplicate tool I use all of the time. So let's back up a little bit here by using Control Z until we get it to where we were with just our 3 boxes. Let's talk about the duplicate key again. So let's just draw a circle, make our circle blue, and then let's duplicate it. So hit Control D and move it to the side. And then when you hit Control D again, it's going to move it as many times as you want, the exact distance that you moved it the first time. So this is a really fun tool It's really easy to use, and you can get some pretty interesting results just playing around with it. So let's delete this. Just draw a box around it, hit your delete key. All right, so we have our rectangles. Now let's add a name box to our rectangles. Let's see, let's go ahead and use this one. So just when the name boxes come over, they're going to be grouped together. So you just click on it, hit Control U, which will ungroup, and then you just pick the shape that you want to work with. So let's work with this shape here. So we just move it. Okay. And as you can see, it's on the bottom. It's behind our rectangle. You see over here. So, and here's our rectangle. So it's way down the line down here. So there's two ways that you can move it. You can hit Shift and page up, which will automatically bring it to the top. Or you can manually grab it and move it to the top, just like that. I use the Shift page up and page down. It's just a little bit easier for me, but you could do whatever, however, whatever's easiest for you. So let's go ahead and fill this with some color. Once again, we're going to use our eyedropper tool. I want to fill it with this green, so we use our eyedropper tool, hover over our green. It automatically turns into the bucket tool, and then we just fill it with green. Go back to our pointer, and now I want to make this bigger, but I want to make it bigger all at the same time. So the way we do that is bring your mouse over the corner box here, hold down your Shift key, and then move. So see how it moves the entire image? Instead of just going this side and then this side and just kind of guessing, you can just hold down Shift and the entire thing will move. Now you can do the same thing for the sides and it'll move that way, or up and down, top and bottom, it'll move it that way. So that's also another neat shortcut to use. Okay, so just like we did our rectangles, I want to change the color of the screen and make it a little bit darker. So the way we do that, once again, come over here, double click on your box, and just move it around where, kind of pick a color that you think will look good, will contrast nicely. I like that green, so we'll go ahead and say OK. And as you can see down here, every color that I've used has now come up down on the bottom for future use. Okay, I'm going to give this an outline. The way we do that is we're just going to right-click on the color, and then now you have, here's your fill and here's your outline. So we're going to make our outline bigger, and the way we do that, double-click on it. It automatically comes up as a hairline width. We're going to go a little bit bigger than that, so just click on the width. We're going to go about 12 points. And anytime you do an outline, you always want to make sure that you do it behind your fill, and you also click Scale with Object. What this is going to do, Scale with Object, is if you make your object bigger or smaller, your outline width will stay consecutive. It'll stay the same, it'll appear to be the same width no matter how big or small you make your image. So, okay. All right, so now we have this with a nice outline, and I want to do a couple of different colors. So we're going to do a Control D, which is going to duplicate right on top, and then I'm going to make the fill, or the outline a different color. So I'm going to use this nice dark blue. So I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to make the outline a little thinner. So we're going to double click on our outline, and instead of having a 12 point, we're going to have a 7 point. So just click on your width, type in 7, make sure everything is clicked, say OK, and now you can see it gives you this really cool appearance here. I actually want to make this one a little bit smaller, so we'll just click on it again, double click on our outline. Let's make it 6 points. Okay, I like that a little better. All right, so now we have kind of our embellishments, our box, our name box, and our rectangles. So next thing we're going to do is add some fonts and some names into it. So let's talk about adding fonts. The website that I use for fonts is DA Font. It's it's very easy to use. They have hundreds and hundreds of fonts, and they're all separated into different categories, which makes it very easy to find. Another great thing about this website is that you can type in the words that you want to use, that you want to see, and it'll show you what it's going to look like in all of the different fonts. So here I'm using the calligraphy font, and I already have Kelsey typed in, which is the name that we're going to be using in our artwork. And then we can just scroll down and find a font that we like. So I like this Master of Break. We look over here and we see that it's 100% free. So that means that we can use it. We can use it on a piece of artwork that we sell, and we won't have any issues with trademark infringement or anything like that. See, there's other fonts that say free for personal use, and you need to be careful with those. You can use them for doing things for yourself, but I wouldn't advise you using them and then selling them to your customers with that font. So, all right, so we like Master of Break. It's 100% free. So now we're just going to download it, and when we download it, it's going to come into a zipped file. Just click on it, and you want to extract it. Just click Extract All Files, and it's going to extract into your Downloads folder. And that's fine. That's actually where you want it to go, because that way you can delete it later, because after we install it, there's no need for you to have that file on your computer. So just hit Extract. Make sure this is checked, because you want to see the files after they're extracted. Okay, so here it is extracted, and we want to use the True Type font. It comes over as 2 different fonts. So what we are going to do now, the way you install it, is you click on it and then right click and click on Install. Of course, I already have it installed on my computer, so I don't want to replace it. I'm just going to say no. But that's how you install your font. And keep in mind that you want a big collection of fonts. Typography is a huge way to make your artwork look really good, and the more fonts you have, the more things you can do. So keep in mind this DA font. It's a great website. They have, like I said, all different kinds of fun fonts to choose from, and a lot of them are 100% free. So this is a great resource for anybody in the graphic design field. All right, so we'll go back to CorelDRAW. We're going to change Kelsey to Master of Break, and then we're going to change our K to something a little more common. I'm going to use Times New Roman, and I'm going to use the bold Times New Roman. Okay, so now I want to get this centered in my name box, and the way I do that is make sure that this is clicked, then hold down Shift, click on my name box and then just hit the C key, which is going to center it, and then the E key, which is going to center it up and down. So as you can see, it is underneath my name box. So what I need to do, we're going to click away, click on my text, and move it up to the top. So there we go. Now I want to change the color of it to match the color of our rectangle. So we just hit the color, and then we're going to make Kelsey a nice light yellow, the same color as we did here. So we'll do the same thing with Kelsey. You select the name, hold down Shift, select your name box, hit C to center it, and then E to center it vertically, and once again it's to the back of everything, so no problem. We just click on it over here on our Object Manager and bring it to the top. Another way that you can do it is Shift and page up or page down. So alright, now I want to rotate Kelsey's name a little bit. So the way we do that is we click on it once and then we click on it again, and when you click on it again you get these little arrows that will allow you to manipulate the text. And as you can see, these side arrows, you can push it up and down like that. Let's do a Control Z. You can move it left and right like this, or you can rotate the entire thing this way. Another way that you can rotate is up here. You can actually rotate it by degrees. So for instance, if you want to turn it vertical, you would flip it, you would type in 90 and that would make it vertical. So here we just want to make it a little, just tilt it a little bit, kind of give it a nice little look. So let's make it a little bit bigger. Grab one of our edges, hold down Shift, and pull. Good. That looks good. All right, now we're ready to add this to our artwork. But first, let's make sure it's all grouped together. So the way we do that, hold down your left key on your mouse, draw a box around everything, Control G to group it. So now everything's grouped, and we want to center it in our artwork. So the way we do that, hold down your Shift key, select your artwork. The letter C centers it that way. The letter E centers it vertically. All right. So you see there's a little bit of space here on the edge. So we're going to extend it out. The way we do that, just hold down Shift, grab it, and pull it to the edge. And as you can see, when I did that, it immediately snapped to the edge of my artwork. And the reason it's doing that is because I have the Snap To selected, Snap To Objects. This is a big tool. This is another tool that I use a lot. It enables you to find the center of an object, place it on the center of another object, or like we just did, snap it to the outside of an object that you're working with. So, okay, so now we have our artwork. It looks pretty good. Now let's add it to some templates. First, let's find some templates on on Conde.com. So the first thing that we're going to use is the image stand. Now all I did to get here was just type in my item number U9165 and click on it, and here's our image stand. And if you come down here to the bottom, you can see we have our client gallery, which has all of our clients, the way they've decorated their image stands, and I really enjoy this gallery. A lot of times I will look through the gallery to get ideas on how to decorate my own stuff. So this is a really fun tool. It's a fun category we have on our website. Use it, look at what other people are doing. That'll kind of give you an idea of what to do for your own stuff. So we also have reviews of our products, some of our blog posts, videos, and instructions. But of course we're going to use templates. Just click on templates. Make sure that you're logged into PartnerNet. Contact your account manager for details about that. Then you just click here to download. So once again, it's going to download as a zipped file. You want to extract all files. Make sure it's extracting into your downloads folder. And then when you open it up, it comes in 4 different formats. So once again, we're going to create a folder on our desktop and add our template to it so we have all of our templates in the same place. So we go here to our desktop, and you can tell I've already made one. Once again, you just right-click on your desktop, go to New, Folder, name your folder Templates, and then you can just drag and drop your template into your template folder. Okay, so let's go back here to Corel, and I already have the templates up. This is the template for the image stand. This is the template for an iPhone 6, and this is the template for our Mug 02. So we're going to add our artwork into all 3 of these templates. So as you can see down here, I'm just using different pages. You add pages by just clicking this button here. It just gives you an easier way to work with your artwork. It's kind of gives you more, helps you be more organized. There you go. All right, so let's make sure that our artwork is grouped. Draw a box around it, Control G, and then we're going to cut and paste it into the page where all of our templates are. So the way we do that, make sure it's selected, Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste. Okay, so now we're going to talk about power clipping. So to power clip, to get this to fit inside of here, what we're going to do is make sure that it's selected by clicking on it, right click, go to power clip inside, and then this nice big arrow comes up. Just click on the outside line of your template and it fits it in there. As you can see, it doesn't really fit the way I want it to, so what we need to do is edit this. And the way you edit it, if you come down here, you can see you have different options. If you hover your mouse over it, you have Edit Power Clip, select contents of your power clip, extract your contents, or lock your contents. So we want to edit your contents. So just click on your design, click on the outside little box, hold down Shift because we want everything to move together, and just drag it until it fits right about inside our template. So that looks pretty good, except I want to be able to see more of my rectangle. So in order to alter this a little bit, what we're going to do, click on your artwork, Control U to ungroup everything, and then we're going to ungroup this as well. See, everything's grouped over here. So just Control U again, and now everything's expanded. So I want to make our name box with our name and our initial a little bit smaller. So the way I do that is I'm just going to draw a box until only that part of the artwork is selected. Hold down Shift because I want everything to move at the same time, and then drag it in just a little bit. Nice. That looks great. That's enough of the outside rectangle showing. So everything looks good. So now we just stop editing contents, and there you go. You have fit your artwork into your template. So this is the front part of the image stand, which is this, and then this part here is going to be the base. Now, as you can see, this is upside down, so let's go ahead and turn it right side up, and we can do this two ways. You can click on it once, then click on it again and move it like this, but that's not really going to show you if you're right, if you've completely turned it 90 degrees or not. Or you can go to your box up here and do it this way. So we're just going to do it, give it a 0-degree turn, turn it 180 degrees, and that's going to flip it the right side up. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring our artwork back in. Right click, power clip inside, click on the outer edge of your image, and then we're going to edit our power clip again. So let's just make it smaller. Let's make it a little bit smaller still, come in a little bit more. Perfect. Okay, so this is now ready to print. Let's do the same thing for our iPhone 6 and our mug template. We'll do the iPhone 6 first. So bring our artwork in, right click, power clip inside, click on the outer edge, edit your power clip. By clicking on it, hold down Shift, move everything at the same time. Let's do that again, a little closer. All right, so you hold down Shift, and you can kind of see the outer edges of your artwork as you're moving it. Okay. Once again, I want to make Kelsey a little bit smaller, so we're just going to ungroup it, and then this is all grouped together, so we're gonna ungroup it again. Or actually, let's only move this. Well, let's move the entire thing. So what we're going to do, instead of ungrouping it, we're just going to use our side box, hold down Shift, and make it all smaller, make the entire thing smaller. So we're making the rectangle, the main box, we're making everything smaller. Looks good. Just click on Stop Editing Your Contents, and there you go. Now you have it ready for your iPhone 6. All right. Last up, our mug. Bring your artwork into your page. By the way, all I'm doing is just hitting Control V. Once you copy something, it stays on your clipboard until you copy something else. So that's why every time you see this show up, all I'm doing is just pasting it in, because my computer knows that it's stored on my clipboard. So, all right, let's power clip this into our mug template. Right click, power clip inside, click on the outer edge. Oop, I didn't click on an object. Yes, let me try again. There we go. This almost looks perfect, but I still want to make it a little smaller, so let's edit. Click on your image, make it a little bit smaller. Perfect. There we go. So now we have our mug, our iPhone, and our image stand. This would be a perfect grouping for, say, someone going to college. So now they would have a phone cover with the matching phone stand and then the mug. Perfect for their desk, or even perfect for a professional. It's a really awesome grouping. Okay, so now let's talk about adding pictures into our artwork. So once again, all I'm doing, Control V, because my my artwork is still on my clipboard. So we want to change all of this and add this instead. So what we're going to do is ungroup, Control U, and then we're going to ungroup this, Control U again. And now we're going to get rid of a couple of things. We're going to get rid of Kelsey's name, we're going to get rid of the K, and we're going to get rid of our interior name box. So here's our exterior name box with that outline on it, and we're going to make this bigger. So we're going to hold down Shift, drag it out, make it bigger. Then we're going to take our picture, right-click on our picture, go to Power Clip Inside, and click on our name box. So now here's our picture inside our name box, but I want to edit it a little bit. Like I want to get her veil in there, and I want to just make the picture fit better inside the name box. So edit Power Clip, and you can see the outside edge of everything, so you can see what's going to be showing. So let's make this a little bit smaller, and as you can tell, I'm not holding down Shift, I'm just moving one side at a time here. That looks pretty good. So stop editing. All right. I want to change the outline here. I don't like that. I think it's a little too thick, and I want to change the color of it. So first thing I'm going to do is change the color by right-clicking on this blue, and then we're going to change the thickness by double-clicking here. And as you can tell, the width expanded because we made it bigger. So when you clicked on Scale with Object, that made the width bigger, but it still looks the same size. But we're going to make it smaller. So we click on it. Let's make it about 18 points. Say OK, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to power clip this inside of, this is our Paloma Unisub metal. I like using this metal, and I think that this is going to look really good inside of here. So the first thing we need to do is group all of our artwork together, draw a box around it, Control G to group, and then we're going to power clip it inside. So right click, power clip inside, and click on the outer edge of your template. So as you can see, it's not big enough. So what we need to do is edit. So we just click on our image. We're going to use our Shift key to move everything at the same time. Make it bigger to fit everything in there. Stop editing. And now you have this beautiful piece of metal that all you need to do is print and press. All right, so remember, this video will be available to rewatch at condetv.com. And as a thank you for watching this webinar, the artwork we used to get today, the hex cube and name boxes, will be free to download for the next 72 hours. So just go to condedesign.com, search for hex cube, search for name boxes, and then just download them to your system, create your folder, and then bring your artwork into your artwork folder. If you have any questions about that, just email condedesign@conde.com. Also, contact your account manager for access to a training video that was created by Roger Wombolt of CorelDRAW at our open house last month. In the video, Roger walks you through numerous tips and tricks using CorelDRAW.